Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really fascinating journey into the world of Macallan whiskey. It's such an iconic name, isn't it? Synonymous with luxury, with craftsmanship in Scottish whiskey.
Absolutely. A benchmark for many.
Exactly. So our goal today is to really peel back the layers, understand what makes Macallan tick, its history, how they actually make the stuff, their amazing range of whiskeys.
And we should also touch on how places like Whisky.dk, these passionate retailers, are so important in getting these bottles into the hands of enthusiasts like you listening.
Right? And for this deep dive, our info comes straight from, well, a bunch of detailed product listings and a pretty comprehensive blog post covering both Macallan and Whisky.dk.
Good sources. Gives us a solid picture.
Yeah, so whether you're, a seasoned whiskey drinker, maybe sipping a dram right now, or perhaps just starting out exploring fine spirits, we're hoping to distill the key facts, those aha moments about Macallan.
From the very beginning, their roots, right up to the latest collaborations.
All to help you get a really good handle on it, quickly and thoroughly.
Well, speaking of roots, it's pretty amazing how far back Macallan goes. Founded way back in 1824. Alexander Reid was the founder.
Wow, 1824. And it's on that Easter Elchies Estate in Speyside.
That's the one. Beautiful spot. And right from the start, they weren't just making whiskey, they were building this reputation. Uncompromising quality, always innovating, and this, inherent sense of luxury.
And it feels like that history really shapes who they are today, doesn't it? It's their core identity. They seem to stand on these sort of pillars that make them unique.
Definitely. And you have to start with the casks, right?
Oh, absolutely. The sherry-seasoned oak casks, that's almost an obsession for them, isn't it? Sourced all the way from Jerez in Spain.
It is. And these aren't just any old casks. They're, fundamental to that deep, natural color and those incredibly complex flavors Macallan is famous for.
That meticulous attention to detail, it just seems to run through everything.
It really does. Think about their stills. They use these distinctively small copper pot stills.
Right, not just because they look traditional.
No, it's functional. They're designed to maximize contact with the copper, creating a more concentrated, richer spirit right from the start, capturing the essence, you could say.
And then the ingredients themselves.
Top-notch. Hand-picked barley, natural spring water from sources right there on the estate, it all adds up. And underpinning all of this is just this uncompromising approach to wood maturation. Cask management is king at Macallan. They invest so much in their wood.
It's fascinating that dedication even shows up in their buildings. I mean, that new distillery they opened in 2018, it looks almost futuristic.
Oh, it's incredible. Designed by Roger Stirk Harbor plus partners. It's this amazing piece of architecture that somehow just blends into the Speyside hills.
But it's not just for show, right?
Not at all. Inside, it houses one of the most advanced production facilities anywhere. It's a real statement, balancing that deep respect for tradition with a very forward-thinking approach.
Okay, so let's get to the heart of it, the art of the cask. This is where that sherry bomb reputation really comes from, yeah.
Definitely. And the Macallan 12-year-old sherry oak cask is maybe the prime example. It was released, I think, back in 2018.
Sounds right. And the notes.
Classic Macallan sherry profile. You get those dried fruits, bit of warming ginger, that lovely toffee sweetness. It's sort of a benchmark, really, for sherry maturation.
But they don't just stick to sherry oak, do they? What about the double cask series? That seems to be about balancing different woods.
Exactly. The double cask range brings in American oak alongside the European oak, but both are sherry seasoned. It's about finding this elegant balance.
So like the Macallan 18-year double cask, I know there have been a few recent additions, 2023, 2022.
Right. With those, the American oak tends to add more delicate vanilla, maybe some butterscotch notes. The European oak gives that subtle spice and structure.
The result is sweeter, warmer, maybe?
Yeah, often described that way. You still get those familiar dried fruits, ginger, toffee notes, but presented in a slightly different harmony. But softer, perhaps.
And the 12-year-old double cask follows that same principle, marrying the two types of sherry-seasoned oak.
It does. It offers a nice contrast to the straight sherry oak 12-year-old. Shows the influence of the American oak more clearly at that age.
And they experiment even further, don't they? I remember seeing Macallan Quest that uses a mix of casks.
That's right. Quest came out in 2017. It uses a combination of 4 cask types, including bourbon casks, alongside sherry-seasoned ones.
So that must give it a different feel altogether. Fresher, maybe?
Yeah, often described as having brighter notes. Citrus fruits, sweet vanilla from the oak, apple. Then those warmer spices like cinnamon and nutmeg kick in, with a raisin finish.
And our source material actually suggested adding a few drops of water to that one.
Ah, yes. That's often a good tip. especially with more complex whiskeys or ones with maybe a slightly higher strength. It can really open up the aromas, reveal different layers. Definitely something for you to try at home.
Good tip. And what about the 1824 series? I recall Macallan Sienna being mentioned.
Ah, Sienna. Yes, part of that series, which focused on natural color rather than age statements. Sienna is known for its, well, its glowing amber or sort of yellow color.
And the taste?
On the nose, you get subtle vanilla, orange peel, maybe some green apple. Then the palate brings white chocolate, that elegant oakiness, dates, figs, raisins, quite
Okay.
rich. And then spices like nutmeg and ginger rounding it out. It's a great example of how they layer flavors through cask selection.
It really shows the artistry involved, which kind of leads us into their limited editions and collaborations. They seem to do a lot of creative projects.
They really do. Take the Macallan A Night on Earth series, the latest one in Jerez de la Frontera.
Ah, yes, the third release in that series, celebrating year-end traditions.
Exactly. And this one specifically links back to New Year traditions in Jerez, Spain, which is, of course, where Macallan sources its sherry casks. It's a lovely full-circle story.
So what's the whiskey like? Does it capture that Jerez connection?
Well, it's built from both European and American sherry-seasoned oak, so it's got complexity. The color is described as burnt orange. And the notes, they sound amazing. Honey-coated pistiños. Those are Spanish pastries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sweet raisins, cinnamon, anise, rich oak, fresh citrus. On the palate, sweet butter pastry, white grapes, honey glazed almonds, vanilla, balanced spices, even a hint of fresh rosemary.
That sounds incredibly layered.
It does. And it finishes sweet, lively, and warming. Plus, the packaging is special, too, designed by a Jerez artist, Maria Melero. Makes it a real collector's item.
That fusion of art and whiskey seems really central to their Harmony collection as well, like the Vibrant Oak release from 2024.
Oh, yes. Vibrant Oak. That was a big one, celebrating their 200th anniversary. And it was a collaboration with Cirque du Soleil, of all things.
Cirque du Soleil, that's unexpected.
Isn't it? The whiskey itself is described as rich with dried fruits, chocolate, spices, vanilla. Classic Macallan notes, but presented uniquely. And talk about limited only 2,000 bottles worldwide.
Wow, okay, so definitely one for collectors.
For sure. And the Harmony collection has other interesting entries, too. Amber Meadow from 2023 was a collaboration with the McCartney sisters, Mary and Stella.
The photographers.
Yes. And that one was primarily matured in bourbon casks, giving it a milder, rounder profile, apparently. Then there's Intense Arabica, matured in sherry casks, focusing on coffee notes. It just shows their range within these special series.
They also innovate within more classic formats, right? Like the classic cut.
Right, the Macallan Classic Cut. The 2024 limited edition, for instance, is bottled in a higher strength, 52.4% ABV.
That's quite punchy.
It is, and the interesting thing they highlight is how adding a cut of water, just a few drops, transforms the experience. It apparently reveals new dimensions, shifting from notes of pear towards almond biscotti.
So you almost get two whiskeys in one bottle, depending on how you drink it.
Kind of, yeah. It encourages you to explore the spirit.
And talking about exploring, they've even tried to recreate history, haven't they, with the 1841 replica?
Yes, the replica series. That's fascinating stuff. The 1841 replica was the third in that series, aiming to meticulously recreate not just the taste, but the whole aesthetic of a bottle from the mid-19th century. Imagine the research involved.
It sounds incredible. The source mentioned its deep golden color, a handmade label, even a traditional mouth-blown bottle shape, all for authenticity.
Exactly. And the tasting notes suggest it captured something quite different, too. Sweet citrus, light phenols that's a hint of smokiness, subtle woody spices on the nose, then wood spices, more citrus, and a discreet peat smoke on the palate.
Peat smoke in a Macallan. That's unusual for their modern style.
It is now, yes. But it reflects historical styles. The finish is described as long, sweet, phenolic, and fruity. And the late, great whiskey writer Michael Jackson apparently gave it 95 points.
Wow, 95 points is huge praise.
It certainly is. High esteem for that recreation.
And before we move off Macallan's own bottlings, we should probably give a quick nod to a real cult classic, Macallan Private Eye.
Oh, Private Eye. From 1996. That's legendary. Whiskey distilled back in 1961 with that incredibly surreal label by Ralph Steadman.
The artist. Famous for his distinctive style.
Very distinctive. And the whiskey itself is known for being incredibly complex, even eccentric. Notes of leather, cherry, tobacco, dark chocolate. That's a wild ride, apparently. Definitely one for the dedicated fans.
Okay, so that covers a lot of Macallan's own output. But there's this whole other world, isn't there? Independent bottlings.
Ah, yes. This is where it gets really interesting for serious whiskey hunters. Companies like Signatory Vintage or Little Brown Dog, they bottle casks from major distilleries.
But often without putting the distillery name right there on the label. Why is that?
Well, sometimes it's contractual. The distillery might sell a cask, but prefer not to have it directly compete with their official range. Or they want to maintain control over their brand name. So the independent bottler releases it under a more generic name, maybe hinting at the source.
So it's like a secret identity for the whiskey.
Sort of. And it means you can find really unique expressions, maybe single casks, different ages, different cask types, or cask strengths that you wouldn't find in the official Macallan lineup. It's like finding hidden tracks.
Intriguing. So Signatory Vintage, for example, they have these secret Macallans.
That's right. Like the Speyside 15M 2009-2024 Signatory Small Batch. It's 15 years old, 48.2% ABV, matured in first and second fill Oloroso sherry butts.
Oloroso sherry, so rich, nutty, dried fruits.
Typically, yes.
Oh.
This one mentions notes of dried fruits, dark chocolate spices, and that little M in the name, that's the clue. A strong hint it's Macallan.
Ah, okay. A nod to those in the know.
Exactly. Then there's a secret Speyside 2009-20233 from Signatory. 13 years old, 46% ABV. This one, the source says, explicitly notes it's Macallan, but matured in bourbon hogsheads. So a different style again.
Right, showing that versatility. Any others?
Yep. They mention a Speyside M 2011-2024 Signatory Vintage, 12 years old, from an Oloroso sherry cask, again with a hint, and a real powerhouse. Speyside 17M 2005-2023 Cask 2 Signatory Vintage, 17 years old, whopping 60.7% ABV from an Oloroso sherry butt.
Wow, 60.7%. That would be intense.
Definitely one to approach with respect, maybe a drop of water.
And then there was this other one, the unnamed Macallan. Sounds mysterious.
It does, doesn't it? This is from another independent bottler, Little Brown Dog. The story is they managed to get hold of a first fill PX sherry cask from Macallan.
First fill PX, Pedro Ximenez. I mean, super sweet, intense sherry influence, right? Raisins, figs.
Exactly. Really decadent, rich stuff. They bottled this one from 2010. It's unnamed. Only 326 bottles at 57.9% ABV.
And even though it doesn't say Macallan?
The source is pretty clear. It is Macallan. It's just bottled under that secret label, the kind of treasure hunt find that whiskey enthusiasts absolutely love.
It really highlights this whole fascinating ecosystem around fine spirits, which brings us nicely to the role of retailers like Whisky.dk.
Yeah, they play such a crucial part. And Whisky.dk is a big player. Denmark's largest online and physical whiskey store. That's quite something.
It really is. And their story is impressive, too. Founded in 2012 by Ulrik Bertelsen and Henrik Olsen, started small online.
And grew into this leading retailer, winning awards like the Danish Gazelle Prize multiple times for growth. It shows real entrepreneurial spirit and, well, a deep understanding of what whiskey lovers are looking for.
And their range is huge, isn't it? Not just Scottish whiskey.
No, far from it. They cover Japanese, Irish, American whiskeys.
Ah.
Even Danish whiskey, which is great to see them supporting local producers.
Plus rum, gin, cognac, tequila, all sorts of exclusive spirits. It really seems like a one-stop shop.
It does. And they clearly get that it's not just about shifting boxes. It's about the experience, the community.
You mean like their showroom near Kolding?
Exactly. That 500 square meter showroom in the Jarstruprud. Imagine being able to browse thousands of bottles in person. Plus, they offer tastings, master classes.
Ah, so it's about education, too, helping people learn and discover.
Precisely. That makes it a great place for newcomers to start their journey, but also for seasoned enthusiasts to dive deeper. It builds loyalty and knowledge.
And they have practical things, too, like delivery options, free shipping thresholds, a customer club with a bonus, little things that make buying easier.
Yeah, those value adds matter. They help make these sometimes expensive spirits feel a bit more accessible.
And interestingly, the source mentioned they even touch on investment in whiskey.
Right, which points to another aspect of this world. For some people, particularly with rare bottles like certain Macallans, whiskey isn't just for drinking. It can be seen as a tangible asset that might appreciate in value. It adds another layer to collecting.
So pulling all this together, what's the main takeaway for you listening?
Well, our deep dive really shows Macallan as more than just a distillery. It's a symbol, isn't it?
It really is. A symbol of Scottish craftsmanship, constant innovation, and undeniable luxury. It offers this incredible world of flavor, history, elegance. And passionate, knowledgeable retailers like Whisky.dk are absolutely essential in that equation. They curate these amazing spirits, make them accessible, and help us all discover them. They bridge that gap.
They really do. It makes you think, doesn't it? Well, it's such a rich, diverse world just within one distillery like Macallan, and the careful curation you get from great retailers.
What else is out there?
Exactly. What new stories, what unexpected flavors, what hidden gems might you uncover if you started to dig a little deeper into the world of your own favorite spirits? Something to ponder, perhaps over a dram,